Hi there, my name is Christine Glover and I'm a USA Today best-selling author. I wasn't always one, and being a best-selling author doesn't always guarantee lots of money and riches and fame. But it's fun and I love writing and I love selling books and I love writing my stories and I love the craft of writing. But as you may have noticed over the last several weeks, things have been a little scary and crazy in our world. We have a pandemic. Last time I did this recording was a week before we were supposed to stay home and stay safe in my state of Texas, particularly my county. So a lot has changed since the 4 videos I recorded a month ago, and a lot has changed since I did the video for BitChalk, butt in chair, hands on keys. A lot of those techniques will work, but I'm not sure how much they're gonna work during times like this. Still, some of those things can work if we address the underlying fears that we have as we move forward into this new way of thinking, this new world that we have inherited due to the pandemic. So I've decided this first video for this next 4 weeks is going to discuss how we can cope with what's going on around us while it's at the same time still being able to write, because it's important to continue our creative pursuits. We have a saying in writerly world, especially in a genre-driven trope like romance writing and romance novels, that there are times when the real world presses in and we have to deal with what's coming at us as much as we can without losing sight of the bigger picture. That's in our heroine and heroes stories, and that's in our story too, our human story. Well, right now, the real world is pressing in, and we're writing during very difficult days. I wish I could tell you that I got up and I followed all the principles of button chair, hands on keys during the second week of the stay-at-home order. The first week I was pretty good. The second week was a bit chaotic due to life changes, travel plans changing, my husband having to make a quick flight out of Alabama to come be with his family here. There was a lot going on, and I wanted to play teenager for a little while. So, I'm just gonna speak from my heart because we've all been struggling. I feel I'm really one of the luckier ones because I don't have a school-age child. I don't have to homeschool, and my heart goes out to the children, the high schoolers, the graduation parties that have been over. Everything has changed and turned on a dime. And my heart goes out to the parents and the kids who are having to struggle with this, and to the teachers. My niece is a teacher, my brother-in-law is a teacher, I have a dear, dear friend in the Netherlands who's a teacher, and this has made their jobs really hard because some kids learn different ways, just like we learn different ways, and just like we write in different ways. So it's going to be really hard on the kids. It's really hard on them. And I feel I'm very lucky because I don't have a school-age child to teach right now. I think that would truly impact my day. And I know it has impacted so many of my friends' days. And they're making the best out of a bad situation. I have Carmen Falcone she decided to do Camp NaNoWriMo, which is a way to generate words per day so she could at least get her head back in the game. I gave myself smaller goals to reach, and after a week of pretending to be a teenager, I decided that I would have a schedule that could be flexible in order for me to feel like I had some boundaries around me. That's how I function the best. That may not be the same for everyone, but just knowing that from this time to this time I do X, from this time to that time I do Y, then I have a break, and then in the afternoon I will take care of other things, whether it's family business or my own business. There's just a lot to juggle right now, and we really have become quite the scavenger hunters for food and paper products and all of that. And there's always that underlying fear. What if one of my loved ones gets sick? What if somebody I care about has to deal with this? And so that's always there, undermining some of my positivity, which I try to be very positive. But I think having a schedule for me has really helped. But let's just look at some of the things that are hard to do right now. It's hard to focus. I have friends who are avid readers who can't read. I have people who are parents who can't focus because they're teaching their children. And then there's this weird, like, okay, I need to get on the grocery pickup, curbside pickup line, and that's a small problem to have in the overall scheme of things. So there's a lot of worries that are involved that impact our ability to focus and concentrate on our story. So I really would encourage you to be gentle with yourself. And if you aren't feeling it, then it's okay to take a break. It really is. These are difficult times. And yet, at the same time, if you can manage to do a little writing or revising, then I encourage you to do that too, because you'd hate to come out of this whole situation with nothing. And like, I don't expect to be like writing King Lear. I think Shakespeare probably had like a wife and some servants or something, because I'm not writing an epic play right now. I'm writing a novella and it's pretty crappy. That's all I can say. But, you know, once I got through my kind of like, oh boy, I'm a little bit worried, just like the, you know, I'm scared, I don't understand what's happening, there's uncertain times, I'm trying to educate myself, I reeled it back a notch and I did make a schedule, and that did help me a lot. I gave myself permission to do less. I give you permission to do less or do more. Do what you can. Don't worry about deadlines, and don't worry about making things perfect right now. Like I'm allowing myself to write some really shitty words, because I figure at the end of this I may have something to fix. And I think you have to try to strike the balance. You're going to have people around you more so than you ever did before. I was used to kind of being alone, and now there's more people around me. Not as many as if I had kids at home. My daughter lives on her own. So we're just doing the best we can and trying to make wise decisions while at the same time supporting each other. There's different problems, like I said, for different people. People with school-age children have far more on their plates than they ever thought possible. You may have to work from home, and then you never get to escape from the computer at all. You never get those breaks. You never get to go chat with someone. It's really hard. Like we're human beings. We enjoy contact for the most part. So it's really okay. I mean, we're all desiring contact with people, and it's been a month for me, and you know, I'd like to see more than the 2 people I have been seeing on a regular basis, but we're trying to make it work. We're doing Zooms, we're connecting with writer friends, neighbors, and all of that, and I think it's important to maintain those social connections as best as you can. Right now, the most important thing may not be your writing. Right now, it may be your only salvation during a difficult time, but I encourage you to be gentle with yourself. I also don't think you should set really high bars. If you want to, you can, but I think it's okay to lower them a notch and just say, okay, if I can meet this lower bar, then I'll at least feel some sense of accomplishment. Like, I was really writing gung-ho before all this happened, and then it happened. So I lowered the bar a little bit. I said, okay, I'm just gonna shoot for 1,000 words a day and then do everything else I have to do. Let's just remember that people are struggling with far bigger problems. I know I have people in New York who are really struggling. I have a friend whose daughter is a nurse and she's struggling, and we're all just trying to get through the day, taking it one day at a time, and that's all we can really do. And if I can be a source of positivity and light, I can tell you this, you know, we can get through this if we practice social distancing, and if we focus on what we can do instead of worrying about what we can't do, if we allow ourselves not to be perfect, not just in the writerly world, but also as parents, as spouses. We're going to have moments. We're grieving a world that we had, and I don't know if we're going to come back to that again. So it's going to be interesting to see how things unfold. So in the meantime, while we are going through this lovely social distancing, trying to flatten a curve thing in my country and all over the world, I'm going to dedicate myself to bringing you craft videos based on what little I know as an author and a writer, and I hope that they will help you or inspire you. I have a series planned on different ways of approaching writing a romance novel or novels in general. I'm a romance author, so of course I'm going to focus on that. And I really think it's important to share what I can in a positive way. So that's what my focus will be from here on out. Yes, this is a situation that we all are aware of, but we don't need to have it banging on our heads all the time. Lord knows we can't escape it anyways. So I hope that I can provide some source of escape in a different way where you can at least look forward to learning something. And it's free, you know. My videos are short. I hope that they can help you, and I'm always here. I will comment. I will be here for you. I'll drop my email if you need to send an email and just ask questions. I will be offering up different worksheets that I've developed over the years based on my learning. I'd be happy to share them with you. And I really want to make the next month or so go by better for all of us. And I hope that I can be a positive influence and a positive light in your world during this time. I really hope that you are finding ways to cope. I would love to hear about your stories. How are you coping? How has this impacted your writing, your world, your life? Are you struggling? Do you have any suggestions to help other writers and other people in general get through these days? I'm here for you. I'd be thinking of all of you, and I hope that the next few weeks you'll gain something from me that you can use in your writing. And if anything, just have a nice happy face in your world for a few minutes once a week. I highly encourage you to at least try to stay in writing because it can be a source of comfort. So I hope you like this little video. If you did, just give me a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, that would be great. I'd love to have some more subscribers. I'm just doing this because I want to share what I know and I want to inspire other people. It's been an interesting kind of an adventure for me, and my word for the year was adventure. So now my adventure is figuring out how to maintain a positive attitude during a very difficult time and to have the adventure of learning new technology like YouTube and Zoom and all of those things, and finding other unique ways to connect with my friends, my family, my readers, and other writers. So please do stay in touch, and if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. I've got my email in the links below. I've got my first video, Bitchalk, in the links below. You know, just really hang on to each other, and remember that even though these are hard days, you will get through them. And I hope that you are all okay and that you're safe and you're at home and you're taking good care of yourselves. If you're first responders, if you're nurses and doctors, then my gratitude to you, and my gratitude to anyone who is in a delivery service, groceries, you name it. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you've done. In my small corner of the world, I will do my best to create a very tiny footprint socially so that we can eradicate this and flatten the curve as fast as possible. I wish you all the best. Stay in touch.